Shelley Hofberg is a clairvoyant, medium, pet psychic, and tarot reader. She does not ask for the details about your life, but primarily relies on her gift of clairvoyance to receive the psychic insights that will be the most helpful to you about your soulmate, relationships, money concerns, and your career path. As a pet psychic, she will receive insights about what your pet or pets wants you to know. As a medium, she will connect with your loved ones on the other side. Shelley Hofberg is the host of the Psychic Horizon radio show, produced by Goldilocks Productions and presented on Blog Talk Radio, Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Shelley brings together the pioneers and visionary teachers to share with you some of the most enlightening knowledge that is out there today, to expand your horizons and open the paths to higher consciousness.
Welcome to the Psychic Horizon Show. I'm your host, Psychic Shelley Hofberg, and today's special guest is Akashic Record and reader and psychic healer, Bill Foss, and he's going to be talking about medical intuitive and doing readings for you. Before I bring on Bill, I just want to make some quick announcements that on October 13th, I'm going to be at the Learning Life Foundation Psychic Fair in Anaheim, California, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. My upcoming guest is Cyprian Dias. He's going to be on the show on September 27th, and he's going to talk about karmic cards. And on October 4th, I have psychic medium Frances Poland, who's the author of I Amadeus, and she's going to be talking about automatic writing. And on October 8th, I'm having psychic medium Brian Rawls, who's the host of the Magical Journey radio show, produced by Goldilocks Production and comes on Blog Talk Radio on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And on October 11th, I'm having psychic numerologist Jeremy Ryden, who's the author of The Quest Method, Your Intuitive Destiny Guide, and the author of Your So Story, How to Create the Life You Always Wanted. And on October 25, I'm having a psychic medium, Michael Espinoso, talking about mediums. So I'm now ready to bring on my special guest today, Bill Foss. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Shelley. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Oh, good. And, Bill, can you tell the callers about yourself?
Yes. Well, as you and I and the listening audience have had conversations over the course of the other appearances here on your radio show as a guest speaker, I'll share a little bit about my path in general. Basically, as an artist and musician growing up in the Midwest and being a sensitive, intuitive, and didn't know it. So back in the 70s and the 80s when I was growing up and developing my artistic abilities and my musical abilities, I wasn't really aware of or around anyone in my immediate family or my society in the town that knew anything about intuitive, psychic, mediumship, or healing, energy healing. Anything like that was considered to be borderline superstitious, and very mysterious at best. So there just wasn't a whole lot of, it was kept as these were very mysterious subjects. As I got older and grew into my path with what I was doing, and I came out of the art and music industries and literally just woke up at a certain point and knew that I wanted to learn about spirituality. I knew there was much more. I wanted to learn about it. I wanted to know what was going on. It felt good to me. The old ways no longer were serving me, art, music, interacting with society just on the normal, everyday, day-to-day banter, with society. It just wasn't working. I knew there was something else. I knew there was a whole other side. So as I went into studying, I found the Akashic Records, and I started using the Akashic Records almost right away after I found them, because I didn't know that the deep connection that I had with the records from other lifetimes. And so it was like waking up in a wow factor continuously as I was using the records and learning, or re-remembering, if you will. And so this went on for quite a while, several years. And in the course of that, I was in the course of my Akashic Record study and my yoga and Tai Chi and energy work and everything. There were people every so often that said, you should be an energy healer. And I thought, well, that's pretty neat. I felt something that felt like a soft healing energy, but I wasn't sure what it was. And so as I started to go into it, I finally committed myself to it. I was studying theta healing, not formally, but I was studying it, and I was studying reconnection, healing or reconnective healing, whichever they call it. There were two names for that study early on, and Dr. Eric Pearl's version, reconnective healing, and there were other forms. I felt from doing Tai Chi and Qigong that I felt energy flowing through my body. I felt it coming up from the earth and through the crown chakra up to the sky. So I had the dynamic of energy flowing through me. I knew what the subtle energies felt like, and I surmised at that point that healing energy was all about proper chi flow in the body. So my friends and colleagues said, you should be a healer. And I thought, well, I have a lot of friends out there that are healers. I think I'll just, do my art and transition into my Akashic Records work. So little did I know, as I started doing the Akashic Records work for several years, I was called simultaneously in the moment, unbeknownst as it started to happen, that spirit wanted to come in and clear people. They wanted to clear negative energies from people, wanted to clear entities from people, and then wanted to heal, So oftentimes I would have somebody come and sit in my chair, and they'd say, well, okay, I want a reading, or I think I need a reading, and I would close my eyes and I would say, you need some healing energy. And almost always the person will agree and say, oh, yes, please, that's what I need. So there's a part of us that already know that. And so that's a little bit about my path in reference to today's subject, what we're going to be talking about, and how I transitioned from my original studies of art and music into the Akashic Records and then on into the healing work. It's been quite a journey.
Interesting. And Bill, what is medical intuitive healing?
Well, Shelley, that's a great question. It's a great subject. When you said that you wanted to cover that, I thought, well, how interesting is that? This is something that's very sought after today. good medical intuitive healing is very sought after. It's a lot like, you might say, in some ways it's the same as psychic healing, and it's different. Okay, so if we're thinking about psychic healing, we might think about projecting energy with the mind, or healing, literally healing psychically with the mind, projecting energy, manifesting with the mind. And in some ways, medical intuitive is the same. Okay, so psychic healing is more of an older, it's an ancient term. Medical intuitive, the term medical intuitive, it seems to indicate the same dynamics, but it's more of a modern day name for healing in a very similar fashion. Medical intuitive is a way to approach psychic healing in the way that the medical industry and the medical world can get its mind, or let's say modern society, corporate America, can get its mind around energy healing. So medical intuitive has the properties of using psychic awareness and your intuition to, let's say, project into the body and find out generally or specifically what's going on within that person's health and their systems, their body systems, their energy systems, or the different systems of the body, digestive, the central nervous system, cardiovascular system, skeletal system, muscular system, all of these different systems, the respiratory system, and sometimes there are things in Western medicine where someone goes in and they get checked, and they'll say, well, we think it's this, so we're going to put you on this steroid, we're going to put you on this medication, and that balance is such and such, but then it can also sometimes throw 2 or 3 other things out of whack. So then they go back to the doctor and they say, well, now I've got this is going on. And they say, okay, well, we'll give you this to balance that out. So pretty soon somebody's taking a whole scat of pills to balance all these things out. And it could be, and I'm not saying that it is for certain, but sometimes we know from stories and past experiences of friends, family, and neighbors that oftentimes the core issue isn't even addressed. So in the times that I've worked with medical intuitive healing and the other medical intuitives that I know and have known over the years, it was sort of a specialized thing where we could go in and listen to a person's body. And I've even gotten certain proteins or certain aminos that a person needed and would come back with terms and words for that person that I was not studied with. I did not study clinical medicine or human anatomy any farther than, let's say, 12th grade science, So, but I'm aware of things through the Akashic records that I hear on the other side. So it can be general. You can get general information about a person's body, or you can get very specific information. And when somebody gets a specific message like that, it can really be helpful for a person's body. Now, that can indicate a certain kind of medicine for that person, or you can literally go in and just start doing the repair on their body. And that's also very, very interesting work to do. And there's several different ways to go about that.
Fascinating. And, Bill, let's take our first caller, which is Carolyn, area code 818.
Hi.
Hi, Carolyn.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Carolyn.
I'm in the car. Yes. Hi, I have a question, Bill, for you and Shelley. I want to know, is there anything about my health that I should be concerned about?
Okay. Carolyn, let me look in with you there for just a moment.
Oh, okay.
Let me do a body scan for you.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting to be watchful with your sugar intake.
Okay.
And also your blood sugar. And the way that your sugar intake can influence your blood sugar.
Okay.
That's going to I don't see or foresee like a huge problem. But if you're starting to feel a little bit sluggish sometimes or a little bit low energy, you might look at what types of sugars that you're digesting. And it could be that natural fruit juice, watered down natural fruit juice, is going to be the best thing for you. They're also giving me the term glycerin. So I don't know what that is. Glycerins, maybe you want to look that up. Glycerins.
Okay, glycerin.
Like glycerin, GLICERAN, glycerin, or CIN, glycerin. Everything looks fine in your body. I think you could probably stand to do a colon cleanse sometime in the within the next 6 months. That helps with the absorption of liquids, hydration, and nutrients into the lower intestine.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And
go ahead.
Go ahead, Carolyn.
I'm just wondering if I need vitamin D and vitamin B.
Say again?
Do I need vitamin D and vitamin B, or are my levels okay?
Yes, those would be good for you, vitamin D and vitamin B. They're also saying vitamin A would be good for you.
D.
A is in apple.
Okay, A, D.
And vitamin K.
Okay, the K.
So you might want to look up what those are. You might want to look up what those are for.
Okay, I will. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
I feel, Carolyn, that it would be good for you to also take iron, IRON, iron. Because you're tired all the time, and I think that there is an iron deficiency in your body that might be causing you to be tired, and so you need to take iron, and you need to have your thyroid checked. It seems like the hormones and the thyroid hormone seems like it's low. It's very low, and you need to get up, your thyroid to a higher amount. Get it functioning properly. Do you know how Carolyn could get her thyroid to function better, Bill?
Yes, actually, Carolyn, what you can do is you can start to work with your throat chakra.
Okay.
Start to massage. You can take just some very light oil. Now, this might be where they were saying glycerin. Okay, so a glycerin oil.
Okay.
And which is a massage oil. And you could use almond oil or anything else that's natural, coconut. And just take one hand, and you can do this without oil, but just start to massage on both sides of your voice box, your larynx. Just start to massage like up and down very gently. And the thyroid is like a big butterfly. It's a very thin, large butterfly type of a gland that lays across the front of your neck. And when you stimulate that, you'll start to get circulation in there. And then you can also take your hands and place up. Activate your hands. Rub your hands together. Get your hands hot. Get some energy moving through your hands. Yes. Get some energy moving through your hands, or bring your hands up to the sky and bring some universal energy down through your hands.
Yes. Okay.
And then go ahead and place your hands in front of your throat and start to breathe energy right in and focus on the color blue. Really start to open your throat and clear your throat and visualize the sky blue. Visualize the blue of the sky and bring that energy of the sky into your throat and let it clear out old psychic connections, old karmas, old self-imposed or self-induced karmas. These are things that get built up. Our throat, oftentimes the reason why we have so much trouble with the thyroid is because our throat gets so layered up with karma, and karma is cause and effect and many other things.
Yeah, okay.
So it can be from past life, but it can also be, self-judgments, self-doubts. So you just want to get all that clear and just get all the energy moving again in your body.
Okay, I'll do that. That's a great idea. I mean, I didn't know about that, but I'll do everything. Thank you, Bill and Shelley. You guys have a great day.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And Bill, how can Carolyn get in contact with you?
Carolyn, you can get in contact with me by going to billfoss.net or either that, or you can contact me by 918-770-3810.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for calling, Carolyn.
Okay, it's my pleasure. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And we're now ready. We're now going to continue our interview with Bill Foss on medical intuitive, and then we're going to take our next caller, which is area code 804. How is a medical? I think you did explain how medical intuitive is different from other forms of healing.
There's something that I could add to that, Shelley.
All right.
Expound on that a little bit. Would be the different ways in which a medical intuitive healer can work. So, oftentimes, let me make a connection with ancient studies. In ancient Hindu studies, some of the masters, one of the things that they would do is there were what they called 7 cities. SIDHI is a city, and that was a power. So they had the power to make themselves incredibly super small to a molecular size, or incredibly large, which meant expanding up, into the sky, or to bilocate or to manifest. And so the reason I bring this up is that one way to heal with medical intuitive work is to make your consciousness to go in on a molecular level. Where, sort of, remember there was a movie in the 70s called Fantastic Voyage, where they had like a group of researchers, medical researchers, and they shrunk them down with a laser until they were super tiny, and then they put them into a person's body. And they were traveling around in like a little ship, and doing healing work, doing operating and whatnot. Well, myself and other medical intuitives that I've known, you can actually literally go into a person's body on a molecular level or a smaller level and look around and direct yourself down through the tissue and see what's going on. So that in itself is a very, very unique practice. Another way that I like to work is I like to work on the astral body. So oftentimes the astral body will mirror, almost always will mirror what's going on in the physical body. So when somebody says this is going on and we can look into it and say, okay, that is indeed happening in your body, then I can go into a person's astral body, which is right over their body, and make some changes, do some surgery, if you will, do some corrections, and let that translate, because that will translate immediately through my intentions and through the intentions of spirit as a healer. It will translate down into a person's body. So that's a very unique way to do it. Another way that I like to work is to literally employ direct psychic healing techniques. So when I see something intuitively that can be affected on a medical level with someone, I can use my mind to go into a person's body. One thing that I have been doing over the course of the last 2 years that I find very interesting is I've been doing remote, I'll say skeletal adjustments. I don't usually use the word chiropractic because I don't want the, chiropractic association after me. But but I can literally go into a person's body remotely, and I can work on them, and I can adjust them from head to toe. I can adjust their spine. I can bring healing energy in through each vertebrae and the pads between each vertebrae, into the spinal fluid, into the nerves that connect and run into the spinal column. And I can also adjust the atlas, which is a flat bone that sits on top of the neck vertebrae, between the neck vertebrae and the skull. It adjoins to the skull. And when that gets tweaked out a little bit, people get really uncomfortable in their neck. And when it's seated correctly and it's adjusted correctly, it really makes the blood flow well to the brain, and the spinal fluid is able to flow easier. So, I've had people get up and walk around. I'll say, get up and walk around after I work on you. And they would say, I feel taller. And I'll say, well, that's good to hear, because that lets me know that the working on the hip joints, expanding the hip joints, expanding the shoulders, myopractic was the study of that preceded chiropractic, and myopractic was the technique, the study and the technique of correcting and manipulating all the myofascial tissue in the body and the skeletal system. So when we do that, when I can work on somebody energetically from head to toe, it's really interesting because I'm able to first correct their skeletal system and then any of the energy, and I can work muscularly too. You can sometimes release a tension in a muscle, like doing remote massage work. So it's a very interesting practice. Those are a few different ways that I work. One of the other ways that I really wanted to mention as we were talking about this, oftentimes I'll work with a person mentally. So sometimes people have had tumors, and tumors almost always are associated with entities. So whether I did an entity extraction or worked on them medically intuitively, and oftentimes I'll do both. I'll work from both angles to be able to heal somebody. And we've had, I've been able to break up and release brain tumors for people, and tumors out of the other parts of their body. Sometimes when people are wanting to move forward and they can't, the nerves that grow through the cerebral cortex, which is a very thin tissue in between the left and the right brain, we grow these nerve endings that move, that grow back and forth, and these are our habits. These are habitual actions, voluntary and involuntary actions of the body, the mind and the body together. And when these grow, these wire together and fire together in continually, then we get a certain specific, any number of certain specific outcomes and habits that we walk ourselves through, whether it's in the body or in our life. And when we can clear that, we can go in and clear some of those and disconnect the ones that are not really beneficial for a person. So let's say somebody is like, they're mirroring habits from 20 years ago that are no longer serving them. We can go in and they want to change, but they're just not able because they don't know how to approach it. Sometimes they can go in because they have the intention and they want to change that I can go in and we can try a different approach. We can start to rewire these nerve patterns. We can bring in new nerve endings and new nerve patterns that will be beneficial so they can have new ideas, new thoughts, new responses, new manifestations. So that's a very interesting way to work. And so there are a few overviews for you. And then, anything and everything in between. I've worked on people's colons. I've worked on lungs, prostate, liver, heart, going in and maintaining the blood flow. One of the other things that is very beneficial when somebody is having a lot of sluggishness and is not feeling very well, sometimes people are on medications, and these medications get built up, and they're not necessarily where do you go next with all of these toxins in the body. And so sometimes I'll go in and I'll just start releasing the toxins just right out of the tissue. I'll just pull it right up out of the person's body and into the ethers, into their fields, and then release it right out of their fields up into the source light of creation, And I've had people say, and I'll say, drink, be sure and drink a lot of water because it just released a lot of toxins out of your body. And I said, oh my God, I feel so light. I feel so much clearer. So these are a few of the different ways that I work, and that are possible with medical intuitive healing.
It sounds like you really help a lot of people.
Well, it's needed, I think, and people want intuitive answers, and I think that's a really important thing because we always want to know what's coming next. And And I just have a passion for wanting to help people, and I think when we're not feeling good, and we need help, that's one of the times when we're really sensitive and we're in the doorway of change. So if we can make a difference during that time, it's something that I really enjoy helping people with.
That's nice. And Bill, let's take our next caller, which is area code 804. Hello, 804.
Hello. Good afternoon, and thank you both for taking my call.
And what is your name, dear?
Okay, my name is Vernell. It's spelled with a V, like in Victoria. Vernell.
Renell?
Yes.
Hi, Renell. And what is your question today?
Oh, it is Vernell with a V, like in victory.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. So I was hoping that I could talk to somebody that specializes in pet health, or because I have 3 cats, and 2 of them are sisters, and they're turquoise. They're like brown and black, and one older calico cat. One of the sister cats, she's been pretty sick for a while. She's been wheezing a lot, and a few days ago, last week, she stopped wheezing, and then all of a sudden, about a few nights ago, I was coming back in, and she was breathing really funny, and she was kind of jerking like, and I'm not really sure what brought that on, and then just yesterday, her sister was in the window, looking out the window in the afternoon, and she wheezed one time, and that was it. And Emmy, which is my older calico cat, she's been really sneezing really hard and shaking her head real hard. So, do y'all know what all of that could be?
So the older calico cat, is that cat related to the other ones or no?
No, the 2 sister cats, of course, they came together, and Emmy, the older one, she came from another household, and that was many years ago.
Are the 2 sister cats, are they male and female, or both males or both females, or?
They're 2 girl cats. The one that's been really sick was Lulu, and the other one, her name is Lucy.
Okay. Are they long-haired cats?
No, they're short-haired cats.
Okay. And did you say they were wheezing or sneezing?
They've been wheezing for. Lulu, she's been wheezing for a while, and then last week it stopped for a few days, and then all of a sudden, 2 days ago, when I came back in, she was breathing funny, and every time she would breathe, she would kind of jerk. But then the other times she would seem like she's okay. She's still eating, and using the cat box and all, which I think is great. But I'm really concerned about the wheezing, and I'm on SSI, and I don't have a car, and I can't take them to the vet. So I'm trying to figure out. I've been trying to figure out what's going on.
It does feel like they need some fresh air.
Fresh air.
Yeah. So where are you? Are you in a house or an apartment or?
I'm in a one-level apartment complex that's a part of public housing, and it's for the disabled and all. And I admit my windows stay closed, and I have my air conditioner on, and I have my fan going also sometimes.
Okay. It feels like now if they go to a vet, that the vet is going to give them some form of a steroid. I keep getting steroid but it could just be that, that they are around a lot of other energies there with people that are disabled, and our cats and our dogs, our pets, usually will pull energy from us to help us to balance and heal. That's just what they do. And so it feels like there's a little bit of that going on, but it also feels like they need to get out a little bit. They might need to get out somewhere. If you can take them outside or have somebody else take them outside for a little while, that might be a really good thing for them. It just feels like they're getting some particulates, in their respiratory system from just being stationary, and possibly from the air conditioning. You might want to have the folks that take care of the building to check your air conditioning filters and make sure that those aren't all full of dust and they need to be changed.
Yeah, I take the filters out and I vacuum the filters, and plus I do have a auric air cleaner also on the other side of the room, and I take the filters out and I vacuum that out as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's good. That's good. I still feel like they need some fresh air. They need some outside air. So I think that's it. I don't think it's anything like really serious. Okay.
They've always been indoor cats even before I had gotten them. And I have seen those strollers with the I think a bag or something that you put the cats in and you wheel them around outside, I think. So I was thinking about maybe I should get something like that.
Yeah, you could do that, or just put them on a leash, A leash would be really easy, because then they could kind of walk around free. Feels like they need they need a little bit of freedom. They need to kind of stretch their energy.
Okay. It should be. Should I take them out at night or in the daytime? I mean, actually, to be quite honest, I got more cats than I'm supposed to be allowed to have. But I had promised the previous owner that I would take care of them, and I was wondering if I should take them out at night.
Well, anytime it's good, If it's humid where you live, then when it's cooler, it's going to be better for them. But I just think they need to kind of stretch, get some fresh air in their fur, into their skin and their respiratory system and their eyes and their ears, and that'll do a world of good for them.
Okay, and you don't think opening my windows would be good enough, right?
Well, it will, but they kind of need to stretch their spirit a little bit,
Okay.
I think they're just getting a little, they're just getting a little stagnant, kind of sitting around the house. If you're able to take them out once in a while, that'll help immensely. And Shelley, do you have any thoughts on this? You work with pets a lot too.
I feel that possibly that there is some congestion going on, and the lungs are hard. And do they have Hubert in the state that you're in?
Do they have? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that word.
Bird.
I don't think I ever heard of that, to tell you the truth.
It's a service that you could call to get a ride if you don't have a car. It's UBER.
Uber.
Okay.
Uber.
Yes,
Because I feel that you need. I agree with everything that Bill is saying, that that's what's going on with your cats. But I also think that there's some congestion, and that you need to get some pills for the congestion, and so you should take Hubert to the vet and get them to the vet and get something for their congestion.
Okay. Congestion. Okay, I was trying to find a vet that they could see regardless of my income, because I don't have them insured or anything.
You might want to look on the internet and just put in a search for low-cost veterinarians.
Okay.
And some people that charge less money, low-cost veterinarians, will come up.
Yeah, sliding scale.
Okay.
And also the pound may have numbers of low-cost veterinarians.
Oh, okay.
Or the animal rescues. But I think that the best bet is to just go on the internet and do low-cost veterinarian.
Okay.
And Bill, how can Vernell get in contact with you?
Verna, you can get in contact with me at my website, billfoss.net. And also, my phone number is 918-770-3810.
Okay, and if you don't mind, I have another quick question. I've been going through all kinds of health problems, and do y'all know what I can do that might get a lot of weight, going? Something I could do to help me to lose the weight.
Your weight, extra weight. Yes. Stop all bread products. Bring down the secondary inflammation in the body. Stop all sugar. All processed sugar. No breads, no sugar. No cake, no cookies, no pastries, no grains, no rice. Just eat vegetables and a very, very light meat, fish, chicken, a little bit of beef. Eat salads, and you'll see your weight drop off very quickly. You'll see that secondary inflammation stop. Also, stop coffee. Use green tea. Stop dairy products. No cheese, no dairy. So you want to be careful because certain different people at different ages, their body is used to processing something for so long. You don't want to throw yourself into an all-out body detox where the body just starts dumping, and then it because that can happen. So within reason, but I tend to find that when you stop things and your body starts to correct itself and become clearer, then it takes a little discipline to do this, but this will help you, and it will help you give you mobility. It will help you feel better. So these are practical things that you can do right away that are very simple, low cost, and it will improve your health immensely.
Okay. And quickly, the reason why I asked is because I'm dealing with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and they told me I need to lose weight, and that it will go away, once I do that.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. So just stop the bread, which is good for everybody. Whether or not it's what is that term? I just forgot it. Right on the tip of my brain. The thing that they're taking out of bread. What is that?
Gluten. Is it gluten?
Yeah, gluten. So even if it's gluten free, just stop bread. It doesn't mean it's gluten free. You can have bread. Just stop the bread. Stop bread, donuts, pastries, cake, cookies, all of that. Just stop it.
Okay.
The liver is going to crave sugar because it makes natural sugars. So it craves sugar. You got to stop all that, and just continue to drink water. Stop eating late night. Don't eat late night. Don't eat after 6 o'clock. No big meals at night. And that helps your body to rest and process. The other thing, and I wanted to mention to you real quick, Bernadette, about when you said that you were taking those filters out and vacuuming them. Make sure that you don't have, when you take those out, that you have all kinds of dust that's blowing around as you're vacuuming. It would be better probably every so often to get a brand new filter, because because your cats they're going to be shedding, and then your filtering system takes all that in, and then if you're pulling that out, you're pulling that filter out and you're running a vacuum over it, and your vacuum cleaner gets full, then it's going to be blowing that stuff all over the room. And then your cats are going to be, then they can choke on that. Cats and birds and small animals are very sensitive to breathing, particulates. So just something to think about. Okay. Well, thank you.
And thank y'all so very much. I appreciate it. And also, I hope to get a car. I hope to learn how to drive and get a car so I could, take my pets to the vet and everything. So hopefully that's going to happen.
Great.
But thank y'all very much for answering my questions.
Absolutely.
And y'all have a wonderful day.
You too, dear. We have a last caller, but we only have 10 minutes left, so 707, we can't give a long reading because we only have 10 minutes left, but we'll take your call. Hello, 707.
Well, thank you very much. Hello.
Hello, and what is your name?
Valerie.
Valerie? Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
And Valerie, what is your question?
I wanted a body scan.
Okay.
All right.
Did you say Sally or Valerie?
Valerie.
Valerie. Okay.
Yes.
Valerie, where are you?
I'm in California.
Okay. Well, California is a really big place. I am too. Where at in California are you?
In Northern California.
Okay. How are the fires up there? Are they okay?
They're okay.
Okay. Okay, so you just wanted a body scan to see what's going on with you?
Yes.
Okay. Have you had any issues with your hormones?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, what's going on? Anything is there anything serious, or did you just want a general scan?
Well, I wanted to kind of look at the heart area and the artery veins, circulation.
When I went in, I feel a little bit of constricting energy in your body, and I feel that right through your midsection, and I guess it would be from your heart all the way down through your pancreas and your reproductive organs, down through that area. I really feel like yoga is going to be your best friend. You're holding on to something, and you're constricting or contracting the energy. And it really feels like you need to stretch. You need to stretch and breathe. Now, you're going to be able to work this out through emotions, so you are going to have some emotions come up when you start stretching and breathing. And that's natural, okay? So just in case you say, okay, well, Bill said it would be good to do yoga, so I'm going to go do yoga and start. You start doing yoga and you start stretching, and then all of a sudden you feel worse. You got all this mental fog and emotional fog come up. Don't be surprised, because it's not that you feel worse, it's that it's coming up to the surface from the tissues to be released.
Okay.
So I feel like, and this is a very natural approach, and I feel like it'll be a very, very good way for you to move forward. I see you doing some floor stretches, downward dog, the serpent pose, where you're laying on the floor and you're stretching.
I used to do those. I guess I better get back into it.
I would. It feels like your body is craving it.
Okay. Do you see any heart blockages in the arteries or anything of that nature?
You do have a little bit of plaque in there. I don't feel like it's insurmountable at this point in time. I do feel like a good thing for you to do would be start taking butcher's broom, which is an herb that cleans out the arteries and the veins.
Okay.
It's called butcher's broom, and then also I would take hawthorn berry. And you can get both of those at like Sprouts or Whole Foods, or you can get them at Amazon, wherever you want to. But you know, for like $7 to $10, you can get both of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and also peppermint tea is very good for cleaning out plaque in the arteries.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, great. Okay,
So,
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're good to go.
And Bill, how can Valerie get in contact with you?
Valerie, if you'd like to get in contact with me, my website is billfoss.net, and I do reading and healing sessions there, billfoss.net, or my phone number is 918-770-3810.
And I also wanted to say, I would like to see at least 89 years old. Do you see longevity?
And how old are you now?
Well, I'm up there. I'm up there.
I think you can. I really think you can. I think really start stretching and, being kind and gentle to yourself, and just start to intend it. Start to intend that for yourself, and release and let go of any and everything that you don't need.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you. I appreciate the reading. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
And I'm definitely going to follow your recommendations.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie.
Thank you.
I wanted to thank Bill Foss for being my special guest today. He will be back in the future. He's also a psychic healer and Akashic record, and the author of Journey into the Akashic Records and the Secrets of Spiritual Success. And thank you, Bill, for being a guest.
Thank you, Shelley, and thank you for the talk on medical intuitive healing. That was wonderful.
Yes, it was a good topic.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.